Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pokemon Crystal, where we are playing Ecruteak City. This is turn 16. Let's jump into things. So this is kind of a short turn for us, but we've got some exciting stuff going on. So let's see how it goes. We have completed Enchantment 2 on our way to Enchantment 3. Om nom 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 nom, the god of vegetation, bringer of abundance, the peacemaker has claimed the outer throne. This is the Shiny Snorlax doing work. We have taken control of the province Dumna. Our forces met no resistance. That's pretty nice. We were attacked in Kebon, where we only have one province defense, so we're not really going to watch it. And this was a small group of Ruby White Belts. Ruby, 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 Ruby! And then we have a battle in CERN, so let's watch this. This is where we consolidated our two raiding forces to fight against... actually a small number of Ruby White Belts, and more concerning, a small number of Farfetch'd. So, and some Tangalas, but we don't really care about them. So, this could get dangerous. But we actually have a fair number of ghosts here. So, ghosts come forward, and... I'm not worried at all about the other units, but we get into the situation of, can the Farfetch'd should actually do enough damage to us? And the answer is no. We do have some losses, absolutely. So this is kind of an annoying thing that I've noticed, right? Even on attack, the Ghastlies will still, the ghosts will still default to shooting in certain situations. So, we lose 12, 10 of which were killed by the enemy, 2 of which were killed by our people, which is a much better average than we were having previously. So this is pretty good. This is a nice little quashing of, you know, maybe a round or two, turn or two's recruitment for him. These guys are 14 gold, so to kill 20 of them, roughly, is, what is that, 280 gold? That's, you know, that's nice. That's not bad. And with that many recruitment points, so maybe this is like one turn's recruitment for him. You know, 280 gold... it's basically like his cap at this point, and 280 recruitment points is basically, you know, probably about how many recruitment points he has. So this is probably a caps scenario, which is good. Okay, so we pop that. We have an unexpected event in Endvast, where we get a luck +1. And we've got some promotions in CERN. Okay, so you might notice that's a lot of red arrows in enemy territory this turn. It is turn 16. We are making a play to try to continue strangling out Cyanwood City. So what is that play? The play is basically hitting him on every single province as hard as we can. This is going to result in us losing fights. And we know this is going to result in us losing fights, but the intention is to make sure that we hit as many different places as consistently as we can to strangle him out, okay? Because we've already seen, right, we can kill his units en masse, right? We've got to... his god is an issue. But we can kill his units en masse, and we've got to prevent him from continuing to produce units. So, we need to get forces on top of his fortifications, which he's got 2. And we need to strangle out his money. So, we're doing a combo here. We are moving forces deeper into his territory so we can get into striking distance of his fortifications. And we are trying to hit as many provinces as we can to strangle him out. And we are going to try to deal as much damage to the remaining armies that he has in order to try to crush him. Like I said, this is going to result in us losing a few battles here or there. like the battle against his god previously, right? Whoever his god catches probably dies. It's okay. But everywhere else is likely to win. So, we are consolidating Kimono 4 and Kimono 6's forces, right, onto Kimono 4, and Kimono 4 is attacking into Kevin. Kevin, as we know, has 31 white belts, which also means 31 Mankeys. So this force is actually slightly larger than our own. And if he boosts the province defense here, which he could, then it is likely we'll probably still win, but it depends on the province defense type. We didn't fight in Kevin last time, so I don't remember what it had. So, it could be bad. But more than likely, if it's a low amount of province defense or no province defense, and it's just this force, we should win. What I would anticipate is... Well, actually, I don't know what I anticipate, because he could go here, or he could go here, he could go here. He could go a bunch of different directions. He could try to be counter-raiding. I don't know what his plan is. So, we're going to hit Kevin. And then we're moving Kimono 6 into Dofaros, specifically because, 1, we can pick up some units here, but 2, because Vertlin has no military units. So, that's potentially a free take for us. Okay? And then, we've got the kind of rainbow, the run of the gamut right here. So we are sending Kimono 5 all the way over to Wesh to continue our cycle of pickups. We're sending Kimono 9 with the smallest of the two forces into Dunster. And we do know there are some units here. However, as far as we're aware, they are unled, right? So hopefully this is going to be enough. It might not be. We are going to move Kimono 1 into Dunes of Death and Kimono 2 into Larian Swamps. This is in an effort to hopefully, 1, take the provinces, and 2, hopefully catch this army. This is a very big army, 100 units, mostly ruby white belts, which means close to 200 units, because those ruby white belts are going to spawn Mankeys. It is very likely that 200, even versus the scenario that we are very hard for him to kill, it is likely that 200 is too many. However, I anticipate that if we catch his army, we are going to do major damage to it before we lose. Okay? So that is the hope here. We are moving into 144, 134, and into 133 in a hope of catching the army that is currently in Dunes of Death. Now, he could move into Erebon, he could move down into Falacia, he could even move over into Ba'an Kish, right? But if he does that, if he tries to just move the army away from me, all he's doing is giving me these 3 provinces. Now, he might move his god into 1, and then in that case, he gives me 2 provinces, potentially, right? But if he avoids conflict with us, we're just going to continue to pressure his lands and continue to build forces. Okay? So what's the force going into Histria? We actually have Kimono 12 over here with 15 units, and then Kimono 3 with another 73 units. So basically, we're going to try to combine forces. If he's trying to get clever and trying to like flank around me, right? Head into Histria and then into our kind of core, our heartland. With his big army, then that's what this is for, is to try to catch him there. Okay? Okay. We are cycling, right? Like I said, we have Kimono 5 moving into Wesh. We have Kimono 11 moving with 37 units into Gol Amrud, right? We've got Kimono 8 up here moving with 10 units back down into Ecruteak City. So we've got our little cycle continuing to go. But we are also progressing with some other things. Our income was a little bit less than what we needed this turn to really accomplish what we wanted to do. So we are being a little tight with our money. We are producing another medium and another kimono woman because we are running into some cycling issues. So the medium will be intent on going to Anvast and summoning Haunters there. And then in the meantime, we are putting down a fortified village in the second forest. So we do have a non-aggression pack with Azalea City, so I feel more comfortable starting a fortification on their border. Fingers crossed, it should be okay. But the hope, right, is to try to take advantage of the fact that there's a free laboratory here. We're also interested in dropping one down in Haunted Woods, so that should be fingers crossed. This is some pretty aggressive. That's pretty much it for the turn, honestly. This is some pretty aggressive movement. And like I said, I am anticipating that we are going to lose at least one of these fights, right? If his god shows up to one of these fights, we're going to lose it. If we get his 100 stack, I think we might lose that anyways. But I don't think we lose it by much. And the key point there is we're going to hurt that 100 stack. And our free spawn is more... We're getting way more out of that right now than I think he is getting out of his Ruby White Belt spam from his capital. Okay? So, kind of a big turn for us. We could come back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could come back to a lot of battles. We'll have to see. Fingers crossed. My hope is that there is still the chance, like we've talked about this previously, right? If his god runs into us in not his dominion, right? And we don't obliterate our own forces, then there is the chance that we surround him and either fatigue him out or just get so many hits on him that we wound him, right? I'm still not sure, even in that situation, that we could kill him, honestly. But we're getting to a point to where it's becoming less of a concern. Partially because, and this is our research is actually down this turn, so we won't get Enchantment 3, because our god is forging some gear on his own. He is our only real nature, so he is having to forge this. But he's forging some Ranger Boots. And Ranger Boots, if you are unaware of what they do, Ranger Boots are these little boys right here. They're Reinvigoration 2, Stealth 20, or Survival. These boots normally aren't that great on most people. Most people end up going for, or a lot of players end up going for, what is it, Boots of the Messenger, right? I think? No. That's, yeah, Boots of the Messenger. Because Boots of the Messenger are the, I think, Reinvig 3 ones. So, Ranger's boots are actually really good, though, because they're Reinvig 2. They're really cheap. Forest Survival is actually pretty useful, because there tend to be a lot of forests, so this means you get reduced movement costs through forests. But it's this Survival 20 that's actually pretty awesome. Our god is actually the stealthy boy, and he's stealth 60, so plus 20 is going to put him up to 80, which is pretty good. We could eventually, depending on what we're wanting to do, we could get him out to be a damn near impossible to find stealth boy, right? But that just depends on what we're trying to do. Really what we want to get out of this is we want to get that Reinvigoration 2, because Reinvig 2 keeps him in a fight significantly longer, and that's going to be pretty good for us. We also don't really have anything that we super care about as far as miscellaneous items go, right? Water breathing is potentially good, because we could try to take on like the trolls up here or the tentacles down here, but that's not something that I'm super worried about at the moment. I would rather have the research. That's it for the turn. Exciting turn. Climactic turn, potentially. We'll see. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.